All right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Everyday Average Man Sports Show. I'm Average Joe here with...
I'm just Josh.
All right, guys, we're going to start it off with the NBA. Actually had its debut yesterday, season opener. Today, most of the teams are playing. They're going to start the season off. We're going to go through NBA season predictions for division, by division.
All right.
We're going to start with the Atlantic Division. I got Toronto. They won the division last year. I think they roll right back through. I think they're pretty much a lock for that division. The Central Division, I got it's going to be a toss-up between Cleveland and Chicago. I think Cleveland takes a little bit to get rolling. I think by then Chicago's got a very, very deep team. I'm going to go with them throughout the division, but probably Cleveland in the playoffs. But we're going to go with Chicago for the Central Division. Southeast, I'm going to go with Charlotte. Charlotte, I think adding Lance Stevenson gives them a little bit of character. I don't know if it's a character you want, but a little bit of edge.
Right.
And, they got the tools. Al Jefferson, Kemba Walker's on his last year of his contract or whatnot. So, it's time for him to perform. And I just think, I think Charlotte will get it done. We'll move on to the Western Conference. I got the Northwest Division. I got OKC. It's a toss-up between them and Portland. Durant being out for that long amount of time, it kind of depends on that. If he can get back and get them in track, Oklahoma City should lock the division down. Pacific, I'm going to go with Golden State. They're young. They're going to be in it through the longevity. They're going to be a team to reckon with here for years to come if they can keep those pieces in place. And finally, the Southwest Division, I'm going with San Antonio. I mean, you can't knock it. I mean, they've done it year after year. They were first in the division last year and in the Western Conference. So I'm going with those.
Let me do my division.
Yeah, do it.
All right, well, we only have a couple differences. I picked Toronto and Chicago as well. I think Chicago's they're really talented. I think right out the gate they'll come out.
And with Rose coming back, I mean, what they did last year, if there's any indication with Rose being back, wow.
One team that has a chip on their shoulder more than anybody is Miami Heat. I mean, they're going to be out to prove that they're actually a good team. I mean, I don't think they're good enough to win a playoff series, but that division is kind of weak, so I see them taking it.
Okay.
And then I had Portland. You had
I had OKC. It would be a toss-up, so we're not too far off.
Right. I mean, I just think Oklahoma City. I mean, I think they're the better team.
So
really.
Basically, in the Southeast, you got the Heat, and in the Northwest, you got Portland. And that's our
otherwise, I got Golden State and San Antonio.
Okay, what about the finals? Who do you got for the Western Conference finals?
So this one, Cleveland and the Bulls. I mean, that'll be a really good finals. I think they're going to be really evenly matched, or for Eastern Conference finals.
Yeah.
And then
saying they don't knock each other out earlier than that, obviously.
Yeah, right. But I think those will be the two best teams at that time of year.
Yeah.
And San Antonio versus Golden State. Golden State, I think they'll get there and really prove that they're a top team in the league.
I believe the same. I got Golden State.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're just young. They got such good guard play. The only problem is they're on the low post. Duncan and them big guys over there. If they meet up in the Western Conference Finals, it may be tough for them to overcome.
Yeah.
They got too much team
camaraderie.
See
how good of a job Steve Kerr can do there in Golden State. I think he's a big.
Yeah, he's more of a system guy. Mark Jackson was more of a, he had a lot different type of viewpoint as far as all that goes. So he was more of an isolation, one-by-one guy. All right, and moving on, we're going to go to. Actually, I didn't even get that. There's the beautiful NBA logo for you.
Well, did you want to pick who's going to win it all? Or?
Oh, who's going to win it all? I mean, it's whoever comes out of the West. It's going to be either Golden State or San Antonio. I think whoever wins that series.
Yeah, that's what. Actually, the only thing I think is if the Bulls can get really hot and be the best team, I think they could win it all with their defensive toughness and matching up with San Antonio. I think.
Yeah, they had the depth. That is a good.
But I think it will be a team out of the West, San Antonio, most likely.
All right, moving on. Julius Randle out for 4 to 6 months. Breaks his leg in the season opener yesterday against the Houston Rockets. Also had an altercation as far as Dwight Howard and Kobe Bryant. Little elbows, little shoving contest. Dwight Howard got a flagrant. Kobe Bryant got a foul. How do you take this? How do the Lakers look now?
How do they
look before?
I don't think there's high expectations. Well, outside of the organization, I don't think there's high expectations for the team to do much. I don't even know if they'll make the playoffs.
I don't think even with Randle they would have. It's too deep in the West. It's a matter of a few games from 1 to 8 spot, and the Lakers are going to be far off, even if Randle was healthy and fine and up to prime. It was a talk of whether or not a guy was going to win Rookie of the Year. That was really the only concern. That's out the window.
But I mean, he came off the bench anyways. I don't know if
Yeah.
he even would have been. I don't know at what point he would have been a star. But it sets his career back. But the Lakers, they'll be the Lakers. So
Yeah, eventually they'll get back in rhythm. You know,
Yeah.
they are the Lakers, like you said. All right, going on to the World Series, Game 7 tonight. There was a 10-0 blowout yesterday. Royals over the Giants, and we're going with Tim Hudson as the starting pitcher for San Francisco, Jeremy Guthrie for Kansas City. Who wins?
I got to go with Kansas City. The big stat is home teams have won the last 9 Game 7s. It's playing in Kansas City. I think they got the pitching matchup. I think they got momentum. I think they've got the fans are crazy. The weather's going to be on their side.
They definitely got the
All
momentum.
that.
San Francisco's lost, I think, 3 or 4 of their last Game 7s they've actually been in. Obviously, they won, a lot lately. 2 of the last in the last 3 or 4 years or whatever it may be. But I mean, I don't want to shy away from what I originally picked because then I don't get a victory in it. If I originally tell you San Francisco and then Game 7 I change my pick, it doesn't do much for me. So I'm just going to stick with my gut and stick with what I picked.
All right.
San Francisco, even though they are a away team, if they can somehow have Madison Bumgarner come in there and do a couple pickup innings, 3 and 4, get them a little energy, that little Willis Reed Game 7 type of feel. But yeah, the momentum's with Kansas City. They're at home. It looks like they're going to probably win and run away with it. And I really hope they do, to be honest with you. I mean,
It'll be nice to see that.
I mean, it's like you couldn't hate the Tigers when they did good recently because how long the
losing hundreds.
yeah, losing hundreds of games and whatnot. And so I want Kansas City to win, but I mean, I got to stick with my gut, what I went with originally. So I'm going with San Francisco.
So I just in that whole game, I think Kansas City jumps out and takes it. No, and then brings us to last week. Joe Madden quits on the Rays. Do you have any thoughts about it?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I would consider it him quitting on the Rays. I think that Andrew Friedman out the door. Obviously, I mean, he had a better opportunity in LA, so that was a matter of money and economics. I mean, he has double, triple the money to work with to get talent. So I think that's easier scapegoat for his position. But right down the line, there's a trickling effect, and that's Joe Madden. He's the unsurety of what's going to be, what's to come. So I think, I think that, you could say he left us, but, I think that he kind of wrote it to the end. I mean, we get rid of David Price. I think all these things have a lot to do with Joe Madden's decision, and they didn't like in the direction that they're going, and he's unsure of, what the future has to come. So.
Right, yeah, the first thing I wanted to do was hate it. Like I was mad, sad, and all those emotions about it. But then the more you think about it, the more you list the reasons. Like they have a horrible stadium, and you don't have no idea when that's going to get fixed. The fans, they don't come out to the games. You don't know when.
They got a good supporting cast. They really do. Tampa loves their baseball team. It's just a matter of attendance.
It's
a matter of
they're
attendance.
in St. Pete, the traffic, blah blah blah. There's a lot of reasons. Now, also that team might move. Like who wants to be on a team that's moving? You're not going to have any.
And I hope if they move, they change the name because I hate that Utah Jazz, like they were in New Orleans or St. Louis or whatever. The name doesn't fit the new destination. If they don't move right down the street or somewhere in Florida, get rid of the Rays name, please.
Yeah, and then and also you can see the teams kind of heading in a downward direction. I don't think they're not developing hitters, and
and they're not so sure about their farm league, their young system they got going on.
So I think actually getting new blood in there could shake things up, could change things. You could start developing the hitting, the pitching. If you could keep that the where it is, that'd be great. But
it could change the dynamic of the way we play the game, and maybe actually we'll have some exciting hitters. But it's going to be tough. It's a rebuilding process, and I think they're years away from doing what they did recently. So
I just hope that the team stays, the team continues to progress, and really makes all the right moves in this situation. But Joe Madden, he says he might sign with the Cubs by the end of the week.
Tampa's got to be patient. I mean, they were inaugural season in '96 or '98 or whatever it may be.
98,
for them to go to a World Series within this 20-year frame, you know what I'm saying, is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's really no reason that the support they shouldn't have the support that they do. I mean, look at the Cubs. Look at all these legendary teams that go hundreds of years or never won a World Series.
Mm-hmm.
We never won one, but we got the opportunity to go one very soon. It's like the Magic. I mean, they're right down the street. You know, they start in '88 or '87 as the inaugural season. They go to 2 NBA Finals in their young
Infancy,
dynasty.
yeah.
So we're a little spoiled, I think, with that. But I think I went a little long. We appreciate it.
All right. Yep. See you next time.